Welcome to Traveling Oracle, the magical podcast, where we talk energetics, spirituality, and how you can use this etheric knowledge to drastically change, transform, and up-level all areas of your life. Are you ready for the glow up? Let's go. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another episode. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm chilling, as usual, sitting in front of my window, looking out. It's a beautiful day in London. The sun is completely out today, which if you've ever been to London, you know is quite an achievement. Just take a moment right now, put your hand on your heart. Probably your right hand. Put your right hand on your heart, your left hand on your stomach over your belly button, and just take a minute to breathe. And just be. It is such a beautiful time to be alive. And sometimes it really helps in shifting your energy to pause for a moment and be thankful. The energy of gratitude is such a transmuting energy. It completely shifts. If you give it enough time, it completely shifts you from where you are to a higher frequency every time. And so if you're ever feeling like really crappy, like in a really bad mood and like nothing is getting you out of it, just pause, put your hand on your heart and think about what you're grateful for. And that can sound so cheesy, but it works, especially if you put your hand on your heart. Why? Because you're connecting to that heart chakra. You're connecting to that energy of gratitude, that energy of love, and it automatically just helps you to channel that energy and feel that shift. Whew. Let me take a sip of my coffee because I have quite an episode for you today. I'm gonna have to disappoint some of you who are looking forward to this episode being about the age of Aquarius. I've had to bump that to next week. So next week's episode is going to be about the age of Aquarius. I have some time-sensitive things that I need to talk about in this episode. So before we start, as usual, let me pull some cards and get a message from Spirit. I mean, all these episodes are messages from Spirit, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, we need to pull a card. That's what I'm hearing. So that's what it is. So let me shuffle my tarot deck first. Spirit, what is your message for the listeners today? The Hierophant. Spirit, what is your message for the listeners today? I'm doing the oracle cards now, guys. This one. Ooh, Dance with Life. Ooh, nice. What a message. So the tarot card that came out is the Hierophant. And the message that I heard when I looked into the pictures is this. There is a matrix, or is it matrice? Oh, I think that's the plural. But anyway, back to the message. There is a matrix. If you're listening to this right now, there is a matrix over your life that it's being broken right now, that is being shattered right now. And as I look into it, as I speak, I'm seeing a picture in my mind. It's a matrix of spiritual beliefs that has been over your being and solidified and hardened into cement. And it's been over your life since you were born up until this point. At this point, your spirit, your soul, and along with your subconscious mind, along with it's like all the intangible parts of your being are working together to shatter this matrix, and you're at the point of matrix shattering right now. That's such an exciting time to be alive, because if your spiritual beliefs are shifting, your world is shifting. If your spiritual beliefs, can you hear that siren right now? Like, that's what's happening right now. It's like, oh, call the police. Everything is upside down. Like, if your spiritual beliefs are shifting right now, your physical reality is shifting along with it. It just takes time. That's the annoying thing about this third dimension. Everything that's being manifested into this third dimension has to follow the law of gestation, which means that it will not come instantaneously when you change your belief systems. It will take a certain period of time to show up in your life. In the same way when conception happens, when a sperm meets an egg and fertilizes the egg, whatever the process is, and conception happens, a baby doesn't just appear in the next second. There's a gestational period of 9 months that every human being must go through, a part of the law of gestation, of this physical reality that a soul must go through in order to be born. It's the same thing with manifestations. It's the same thing with shifting your reality. Once you change your beliefs, sometimes you wake up the next day or the next week and you're like, I know I shifted this belief system. I know I'm thinking differently, yet my surrounding looks exactly the same. Why is it? It's because your change is on the way, but it must undergo that gestational period. So don't be discouraged, because what happens is you change your beliefs, you look around for a week or two, you see nothing, and then you revert to where you were before because you see no change. And that's the trap of this 3D reality. The key is not to revert when you don't see the change. The key is to persist until you see the change. Persist with the knowledge that anything that's coming for you takes time, and you just have to endure until it's here. That's it. Point blank, period. And the oracle card that came out was Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy. Some of you are lacking movement in your life. You're very good with the mind and spiritual things, but you just neglect your body. You neglect your body. You don't give your body the same amount of love and attention that you give your mind, the same amount of love and attention that you give your soul. And so you're missing a very important leg of the triad of mind, body, spirit. You're missing the body. And you might be wondering, why is it that I'm so connected spiritually? Why is it that I know I'm such an intelligent person? I know I read my books. I've done degrees. Why is it that I'm so knowledgeable and spiritually connected, yet nothing shifts for me? It's because the vessel that anchors you into physical reality, you've neglected it. And so you're calling in all your dreams, you're trying to anchor your dreams into reality, yet you have no vessel to anchor it through because your vessel is blocked. Like there's a block between your spirit, your soul, and your body because you've neglected the body. The body is just as important to spirituality as the mind, as the soul. These three things, mind, body, and spirit, these three things are three keys to unlocking a balanced, a happy, a soulful, one would dare to say a perfect life, whatever perfection means in this physical reality. Those are three pillars. And if you ignore one of the pillar, you're limping. You're not balanced. If you ignore one of the pillar, you are leaving a lot of fulfillment, satisfaction, and abundance on the table. It's literally like someone's putting $1 million in front of you and you're like, listen, boo, I'm just gonna take 100. I'm just gonna take 100 here and struggle to pay my bills and struggle to eat. I'll leave the rest of that on that table. You must connect with all three pillars of your existence in order to balance, shape, and improve your life. None is more important than the other, and whichever one you leave out will drastically reduce the impact of having the other two together. It's a triad. It's a holy number, the Trinity. Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Mother, Father, Child. Even in Reiki, when you're invoking that energy of Reiki, you have to say it 3 times. There's so many places in spirituality and mysticism, the Bible and other religions, where the number 3 is super important. Even in sacred geometry, the triangle is such a sacred shape. There is something really important about that 3 energy. I read somewhere that Nikola Tesla was also very obsessed with the numbers 3, 6, and 9. He would move his meetings to one of those dates. He would launch products on those dates. He was fixated on the 3, 6, 9 scenario. There's something about that number that's super important. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I don't need to know what it is in order to use it. So this episode is about the importance Not just the importance, but also how to balance your mind, your body, and your spirit. Why do you need to balance your mind, your body, and your spirit? Let's start there. If you're living a life where your mind, your body, and your spirit are not balanced, you more than likely are living a very chaotic life. And if your life is not straight chaos, you're living in a cycle of chaos and peace, where chaos, and you figure your way out through it, you find your way through it, finally you have a little peace, but that peace never lasts. It never lasts because you're not in that balance of mind, body, and spirit. And because you're not in that balance of mind, body, and spirit, you're in a cyclical, closed circle where you teeter between peace and chaos. Because remember, if you're not balanced, if you look at balance in your mind as a straight line, there's a point A on one side, on the left side, let's say, and the line ends in point B on the right side. Balance says that you're neither at point A nor point B, you're in the middle. Right? If you're not in the middle, you're on an extreme. And that's why when you're not balanced in your mind, your body, and your spirit, you live a life that's fighting between peace and chaos. You live a life where you're either in extreme peace or extreme chaos, but none of it really lasts because you're going from one side to the other. You're teetering and tottering, one side to the other. Happiness, sadness, joy, extreme pain. You're always in one extreme area or the other. That's exhausting. Because you live this exhausting life, your nervous system is consistently sitting in fight or flight mode. Your nervous system is consistently ready to go because it knows there's no peace in your life. If you're experiencing peace right now, it knows it's a matter of days before you've got to fight for your life, basically. Before something happens where you've got to pump yourself up, you've got to find the energy, you've got to find the drive to do what you need to do to survive. And that's why so many of us suffer from obesity or being overweight. A lot of us who are in this unbalanced mind and spirit space, we tend to either be overweight or obese. Why? Because we're in this unbalanced place, because there's a lot of chaos in our life, not much peace. Your nervous system, as I mentioned earlier, is always in fight or flight mode. Your cortisol is always up, which works against you because it causes you to not be able to lose the fat you have stored. You know those people who work out hard, they try so hard to work out, they try so hard to eat well, but no matter what, they either lose no weight or they lose a minuscule amount of weight, a minuscule amount in comparison to the work they've put in to lose it. A lot of that has to do with your emotions. A lot of that has to do with the fact that, again, you're living such a stressful life. And I'm also hearing a lot of you are sitting there saying, my life isn't stressful because you've normalized stress. You can't even identify that you live in a stressful life because that's become your baseline. A lot of you, your baseline is a stressful life and you can't lose weight. You're trying hard and you get more frustrated. That stresses you out even more. Then society reacts in a way contrary to what you want it to react to because you've put on weight, which is messed up, by the way, but we're not going to go into that. And so you spiral down in this circle again and again and again and again. You've got to break this loop. Spirit is like, that's the message. You've got to break this loop. And so where do you break a loop like this? Where do you break a vicious loop that has you spiraling downwards or sitting in the same place and not having as much progress as you desire in your life, not having much progress in getting ahead in your career, not having much progress in your personal life with relationships and love, not having much progress in feeling good in your body, not having much progress in feeling good, feeling alive in your life? Where do you break this loop? Because I want to also, before I answer that question, talk about the symptoms. How do you know that you need to balance your mind and your body and your spirit? Well, let me tell you, honey. If every time you check in with yourself, you're finding yourself further and further away from your goals, you need to balance your mind, your body, and your spirit. If every time you check in, like you set goals for the year, you set goals for a 3-month period, you set goals for the month, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna work on this. And every time, no matter how hard you try to work towards your goals, you still find that there's tons of distance between you and it, even though you've been working, you've been trying. That's a surefire sign that you need to balance those 3 pillars of your being. If you feel like your life is dull, if you feel like your life just feels gray, and for some of you, you might be in a space where you have the things that people say you need to have in order to be fulfilled in life, yet you feel no fulfillment, you need to balance those pillars of your life. Because feeling dull in your life, feeling unfulfilled, feeling that even though you're not doing bad technically, you still can't, you're just not feeling right in your skin. You're just not feeling right in this life that you've created. That's a sure sign that you're out of alignment with your soul. And alignment with your soul is the result of balancing your mind, your body, and your spirit. When those 3 things are balanced, it's like a key that unlocks your soul and unlocks the path that your soul needs to be on. So soul alignment is a byproduct of balancing those 3 pillars of your life. If your soul is unaligned, if your soul is misaligned, you just feel every morning you get up and you go to your job or you go to your business that you're creating, you just feel this underlying nagging feeling that you're not where you're supposed to be. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and something just isn't right. You might get up and look at your beautiful children, your lovely spouse, and feel ashamed that you feel that something isn't right. When you look into their eyes and you know you love these people, yet you still feel like something isn't right. That is core soul misalignment. The other symptom is someone who gets up every day knowing they have so much potential to be more than they are right now, knowing that they have so much potential to do more in this life, to be more in this life, to produce more beautiful things, to build a business if that's on your heart, to be that artist that you admire if that's on your heart. You know deep down in your spirit, this is not something other people are telling you. This is something in your spirit. You get up every morning and you're like, I know I can be more. I know I can do more. If you get up every day with that feeling on your heart, that's your soul trying to push you towards balancing your mind, body, and your spirit. That's your soul trying to push you towards soul alignment. It's trying to say, hey, you, I love you, but you're not on the right path right now. I love you, but you're not where you're supposed to be right now. Let's go. Let me put this itch in your heart so you know you're in the wrong place, so that you'll start looking, so that you'll start searching for the right path. So where do we start? Where do we begin to even start to break this cycle, to start to move towards balance in our 3 pillars of life? The best place to start is the mind. Start with the mind, because the mind is where our belief systems are housed. And our belief systems are the things that influence and produce our actions. And then our actions impact the world around us. And the world around us impacts how we feel through how we experience the world around us. And then it goes back in a closed loop. Right? So if you impact the mind first, you have a fighting chance, I believe. And that's why in my program, we start the first week. The first week is solely focusing on the mind, solely focusing on identifying your subconscious beliefs, identifying the harmful ones that are causing you to walk in the opposite direction of your goals in life, in the opposite direction of the things you desire in life. And also, it helps you to move away the garbage that's blocking you from understanding what you truly desire in life. Because that's another symptom that I see when I do tarot readings for people, or when I just speak to people and they tell me any of their issues. A lot of people are walking around knowing that the key to life is building a life, building your business, doing the things in life that you are passionate about, doing the things in life that lights you up. If you work in the area of the thing that lights you up, you never, quote unquote, work a day in your life. But the problem is, a lot of people, they sit and they say, what do I want in life? What do I desire? You can't even feel it. You can't even feel the things that you're passionate about in life. You can't even lock into what you desire in life because a lot of you are blocked up with emotional trauma. You can't feel your heart, the desires of your heart. And if you can't feel the desires of your heart, you're in trouble, honey. You're in deep trouble. Because that is your guiding compass in life. If you cannot feel it, you are lost. That's why so many of you feel lost in life. And a way that disguises itself to your brain is, oh, the reason I don't know is because I'm good at everything. The reason I don't know what lights me up in life, what I really want to do in life, is because I could do anything. And while there's a version of truth to that, you can apply yourself to anything and be good at it. It really is a mask that your brain gives to you for you to feel better about not being able to connect to your heart's desire and not being able to understand who you really are and what you really want to do in this life. It's like a distraction or what would you call it? It's like a pacifier, something to distract you from the pain of the reality that you really don't know who you are. You don't know what you want to do. And that pacifier pacifies you so that you don't go searching for the truth. Because it's so painful to realize that I'm 30 and I have no clue what I want to do. I have no clue who I really am. It's a painful truth. And sometimes the pacifier is easier for you to hold than to face that truth. And so some of you, Spirit is trying to remove that pacifier right now and say, it's time to face facts. It's time to face this reality so that you can fix it. I mean, I paused just now and the message that came through was so beautiful and so sad. And the message said, there's so many of you who are supposed to be something powerful in this world, who is supposed to build beautiful things in this world that would impact so many other human beings around you, that will help so many other human beings around you, that will contribute to society in a way to make it more beautiful, more lovely, some of you to raise the consciousness of people around you. But you refuse to go to the truth of who you are. You refuse to face up to your greatness. You're sitting in the box of the pacifier. You're sitting in the box of the pacifier, drinking the Kool-Aid of, I'm not good enough to be anything in this world. I'm not important enough to make a difference. Drinking the Kool-Aid of, I am nothing. I came from this family, or I come from this class, or I come from this country. Like, just a whole bunch of bullshit that your mind is telling you to keep you down. It's time to wipe that crap off of you. It's time to remove all of the things that are blocking your light from yourself. Because the way forward is for you to recognize the power in you. For you to recognize the light in you. Once you recognize it, you can then shine it to others. But if you're not able to recognize your own power, you're powerless. And if you continue believing or feeding into the lie that you are powerless, that there is no power within you, you will continue walking on a road that is leading you on a path of living a life that's less than the one that's meant for you. Living a smaller version of the life that you have the potential to live. And quite frankly, you are not here to be mediocre. And mediocrity is only defined by you and your soul's purpose, not by what the media says is mediocre or society says is mediocre. Mediocre is living any life that's beneath your personal potential. Now, you've been charged by listening to this message. Spirit has given you the charge to go on the journey within. Spirit has given you the charge to balance your mind and your body and your spirit. Spirit has shown you the blueprint of how to achieve the next level up in your life. You can absolutely go and start this journey on your own. However, if you know that you need help, if you know that you need some sort of guidance from someone who has already been on this journey, from someone who has already distilled down to a science the path that's most efficient, I'm inviting you to Awakened. I'm inviting you to this program that I have channeled called Awakened, the Journey Within, that does exactly what I've spoken about in this episode. It shows you step by step exactly what you need to do to balance the 3 pillars of your life. In week 1, we hit the mind, completely about identifying your beliefs, identifying your negative subconscious beliefs, digging them up, rooting them up, and placing positive subconscious stories in their place so that you can finally start moving in the right direction towards your soul alignment, so that you can finally stop fighting against yourself, finally stop holding your own self back from progress. Then in week 2, we talk about the body, the part that so many people miss and mess up and wonder why this stuff isn't working for them. Anchoring your spirit, anchoring your soul, anchoring your manifestations through the vessel of the body, how to connect with the body, how to raise the vibration of the body, raise the frequencies so that you can align with everything in life that you desire. In the 3rd week, which is my favorite, that's a lie, I really like the mind too, but the 3rd week is one of my favorite weeks. It focuses on the spirit, connecting to your spirit, how to feel your soul, how to listen to and hear your soul, how to connect with your spirit guides, how to get messages from your spirit guides. That's the week where you really learn to connect with the spirit world. You really learn to connect with the beings that travel with you for your good, because every human has a set of beings that helps them along in life, whether you call them angels, whether you call them ancestors. Actually, there's an array of different beings that helps us at different times, and they're always speaking to us. But some of us, we miss those messages left, right, and center. They're like sending messages and we're oblivious. That's a really, really powerful week. And the 4th week, the last week of this container, is transmutation of energy. How you can transmute energy when you're feeling crappy, when life throws you things that tend to knock you off your path. If you've been on like a good roll and then something happens to knock you into depression, knock you into another episode of anxiety, knock you off your path, you need to understand how to transmute that energy. So if something comes your way, it's just a slight bump on your journey, not something that derails you completely. That's another powerful week of understanding energy transmutation. And that's what I really love about this program that I've channeled. It's not just a program where you learn information. We do activities every week to shift your energy. Every other day, it's self-paced, but we have activities outlined for you to do things, because I want you to understand the techniques so that when you finish this course, you have all the tools you need to go forward in life and do all of this yourself. When you leave this course, you leave with a spiritual practice to maintain and uphold your level of spirituality, for you to uncover new levels of spirituality. I need you to leave with a understanding of how to continuously lift your consciousness up yourself. I don't want you to be reliant on me needing to come back to do another course, needing to come back to do this and that and that. I want you to leave equipped to sustain your soul yourself, to sustain your life yourself. And this course is going to be such a level up for those of you who take it. It's going to be such a stepping stone for those of you who take it. Because for some of you, life is waiting for you to be balanced in order to bring in the things you want. Because the dreams that you have, imagine pulling in those dreams on a shaky foundation. It means that if you're trying to manifest and bring things in on a foundation that's that shaky, that's that chaotic, it means that you'll bring it in for a time and then it'll turn on you. It'll collapse. The thing that was once beautiful will start to rot in your presence. That's why so many people, they can bring things in, but they bring it in and then it disappears. A contract that looks so promising just dwindles out to nothing. It ends up that you can't sign that contract, or the contract was really bad and on the back end you didn't read something that really F's you up in the long run. Things switch on you, things change if you're not manifesting from a stable foundation. The other thing is people who are trying to manifest from a chaotic foundation will only bring chaos towards you. If you are in chaos, everything that you want comes towards you in the energy of chaos. If you are building your life, which every one of us is building every day we wake up and draw breath, if you are building your life, building your business on a chaotic and on an ungrounded foundation, everything you build will start to crumble at some point. And you wonder why you go through cycles of life where everything is crashing. It's because your foundation is chaotic. You've got to balance it. So, Awakened is starting on May 18th. What day is that? That's this Thursday, May 18th, and I cannot wait to meet you all. I cannot wait to meet those of you who are ready to make that change in your life. It's just a beautiful thing to have somebody beside you as you start on this journey, or as you continue on this journey. Some of you might have started on your own and realized you need some help. It's a beautiful thing to have somebody there who you can say, hey, you can send a message and say, hey, I've been going so well, but today shit is hitting the fan. And to have someone to uplift you there, to have some guidance there, to have the content that's already pre-recorded in there, the lessons, the channeled lessons in Awakened is crazy. I love it because every time I channel things, again, these are not my words, right? These are messages channeled from spirit. So I'll play it back when I'm editing and I'm like, damn, Akil. I was like, that one was crazy. Like that message was it. I surprised myself all the time. And that's how I know I'm channeling. Because when you say your own words, you're not surprised by them because they were conceived in your mind by you and spoken by you. When you're channeling, the things that come out, it's like you're observing it as well as the person who's listening, and you're surprised by it as well. It's just an amazing thing. And each week we have one live session where we have Q&A, where we talk about anything that's coming up in your life. A lot of the live sessions are healing sessions. So we have an anger release session. Oh, child. Some of you are walking around with so much anger in your heart and you don't know it's there. I remember the first time I did an anger release, I almost didn't do it because I was like, I am not an angry person. I was like, I'm good. And y'all, when I went into this anger release session and I went down into my subconscious, the rage that was there, I was shook. But yeah. We have 4 live sessions, one each week for you to tune into. If for whatever reason you cannot make it, all of these sessions are recorded, and then you'll get access to the recording after and you can watch it then and do the healing activities then. So in addition to the pre-recorded channeled messages that would be what you would call lectures, each week, there are also guiding activities for you to do each week yourself to shift your subconscious mind, to shift the frequency of your body. There are activities to help you to craft a spiritual practice. It's just power-packed, activity-packed, healing activity-packed, channeled messages packed. It's packed with everything you need to assist you on that journey to have massive change in your life. Anyway, guys, I have got to go because the sun is even brighter now than when I started and I need to get to the park. I love you guys and I will see you in my next episode.